is up? Y'all hear me good? That's yes. All the heads popped up. That's cool. Hope everybody's doing good. Wanted to I'm gonna cover a few things today. Certainly, as always, if you have questions, what's up, Schmidt? You're looking good, dude. How much weight you lost, bro?
Uh, a lot.
How much?
311 to 244. So 56, 7.
311 to 244. That's a lot of pounds. It's good. Good
A
for
lot
you,
of
bro.
steps.
A lot of steps. Imagine that. Shocker. It's looking good on you, dude. I love it. What's the goal? You have one?
235. I'm really there, 235. So,
Love it, dude.
I'm really there right now. So,
It's good shit. Us old folks have to figure out eventually we got to get in shape or
yeah,
shit don't
53
work
was
really
old.
well.
53 was old enough for me. So,
I'm 48 and going, golly, this is hurt. Gavin looks good too. You seen him lately?
yeah, I did. I saw he was at the
Holy
dunk game the other day. I
moly.
saw a picture of him.
Yeah, he's been killing it. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's crazy. Good shit.
I didn't realize,
Um,
I didn't, but I didn't realize how fat I was because I lost all that weight and I still feel fat. So I must have been like, must have been really bad, really bad.
Hey, you know what else is funny, dude? It's you have that personality, bro, that you were out selling as much insurance as you were selling, 40, 50, 60, 80K a month, and still feel like you ain't working hard.
Nope.
You know what I mean? Like you have that too. I was trying to explain that to someone yesterday that and I had another guy asking me, he felt like he's not putting in enough work, but he's number one producer on his team, like by a lot.
Mhm.
You know, and I'm like, I messed up the saying the other day, and I don't have it ready today either, but you've probably seen it on social where they put that like, I don't know, mediocre people or feel like they do too much.
Oh
And
yeah, well,
then
that guy, that dude with the black hat and the raspy voice, he's like 90. Yeah, yeah. I remember. I just watched it the other day, and he was saying something like, 2% of the time, it was. Yeah, I remember how you said it. I can't repeat it. I'll see if I can
yeah,
find it.
yeah, it's one of my favorite ones I see every now and again. If anybody knows it, the quote we're talking about, I don't know how to say it exactly, but it's something along the lines of mediocre people feel like they're working too much, and high
Yeah,
achievers feel like they're never working enough. It's
yeah,
something along those lines,
yeah.
and a lot of us feel that way, dude. I felt that this morning. I had a couple hours in between meetings, and I'm like, I kind of felt like a bum. And I'm like, I mean, I work all the time, and I still mentally, it's like, how do I accomplish more? Um, I don't know. We're
Yeah,
we're
like
messed up
Sunday.
in
Yeah, Sundays are like my. I refuse to go to the gym, but I still need to get like 4, 5, 6, 7 miles in.
yeah,
And it was just like, it was just like getting, I mean, I did it. It was like 5.8 miles or something like that, but I was still like
yeah,
frustrated by the day, you know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
here he is. Michael's got it.
He's got it.
Mediocre people think they're great. Great people think they're mediocre. Is that the one?
It's
There are
something like that.
there
It's not
there
exactly
are
that, but it's similar. There's variations of it.
yeah, well thank you for saying that because these are the variations. I got you,
There
John.
there you go. Mediocre people think they're exceptional. Exceptional people think they're average. The incompetent are often blessed with an overconfidence that comes from ignorance. It's crazy, dude.
Hey, real quick, and I'll shut up, John. But
Nah,
hey, I
please go ahead.
invited a lot of people to this. So if you
Okay.
guys have 10 seconds and you think there's somebody out there that this could help, and you know how you have those people in your life. If not, that's really weird. Text them and have them register and get on this thing live right away because this will be a great hour. Thanks, Sean, in advance. Thank you.
Absolutely, dude. I appreciate it. Here to help best I can, dude.
Now, Eric,
And
how did you do lose that weight? Because I want to lose the weight too.
That's another one. No, another one. John will post that another one. We'll do that on another one. But but
hey,
obviously
I bet it had to do with shoving less shit in your mouth
yeah,
and moving and sweating more. If I
yeah.
had to guess, that's probably the premise.
And I don't intentionally ever eat any carbohydrates. I do eat them, but I don't intentionally eat them. And
Yes.
small windows of eating, 6 hours of eating, from like 12 to 6 or 2 to 8, much smaller windows. So
Okay.
I heard this saying recently, Schmidt, along that line also, where it's like, isn't it weird in today's world, those of us that eat foods that you're supposed to eat are somehow on a diet if we eat well? You know what I mean? It's like, is it really a diet? Aren't we just like eating what fuels our body? versus most people are not.
Yeah.
They're just eating whatever they feel like eating, whatever that urge is, whatever that desire is.
Yeah.
You know, and how similar it is to what we do. You know, a lot of us, we spend our week in business feeding ourselves and fueling ourselves what we need mentally to not only prepare for a week or a month or a year, to adapt to it, to be able to handle the negative pieces of it that come with business every day in life. Like, I won't ever stop saying it. Like, business does not ever go, the hard things in business never go away. Ever. Dude, I dealt with shit 5 minutes ago that I don't want to be dealing with, but I have to fucking deal with it. And it's not fun stuff. You know what I mean? But it's a part of doing business. And then I have to get on here and still smile and still give people direction on how to win in life. You know what I mean? So
same analogies, right? You know, when you put good things into your mind, good business stuff, right? But also on the food side, right? So my wife and I, my son, who's selling life insurance with me this summer on break from college, his girlfriend is a hostess at this really authentic Italian restaurant in Portsmouth, New Hampshire called Ristorante Massimo. But it's like legit, real stuff. And it's amazing, like when you are eating like real food. Now, we had pasta that night, and we stuff that I don't, you know, not out of a box. I mean, I'm sure it was made with real ingredients, real stuff. And you were just traveling, right? So like when you eat real stuff, how your body reacts to real food versus all the processed things that are in our world, business processed stuff and you know, food. It's amazing how our bodies react to it.
it's true. Yeah. It's even more sad. The inverse is when you eat like shit long enough, your body eventually accepts it as normal and okay.
Yeah, because the last time John said no desserts, no fried food, and another one, but I can't remember the
no
last
alcohol.
No alcohol.
That was a tough one for John, with all due respect.
Hey, you have no idea, bro. I like a good lemon dropper, 5 or 6 or 7 of them. Vodka's been my and it's not like an enemy. Like people who have real fucking problems or real alcohol. Like I don't feel like I was like that, but I also wonder, am I saying that and now I'm that guy? But I say it to not do disrespect to people who really struggled with it.
Right.
I like fucking drinking. And I have fun with it. However, it starts a trickle effect of shit in my life. I eat like crap. I stay up too late. I work out less. You know what I mean? It just triggers things that I don't want in my life. And you know what I learned is like when you fuel your body in any way long enough, whatever you tell it normal is, it'll eventually accept that as normal. You know, and I got out of shape and I got overweight. And it's no different than, you know, when you're around people who are negative, or you put yourselves in situations where you aren't thinking positively, or whatever it is you do to yourself to not believe you can win in business. Eventually you feel like it's normal. Like a lot of y'all feel like it's normal to have a life insurance license and be broke as fuck. That's not normal. That's not okay. That's not the way it has to be. It's the equivalent of eating fucking Twinkies and ding dongs and ho-hos and ice cream every day and being confused why we're out of shape physically. I promise you, those of you that are struggling financially, mentally, whatever you're fueling yourself with and whoever you're associating yourself with and whoever you're getting feedback from on an everyday basis, probably is the equivalent of eating pizza every day. Most people are okay with mediocre. You know, and most people will tell you it's okay that you don't have the best body or the best mind or the best income or the best whatever. Your circle, the world around you will tell you it's okay to be mediocre.
Right.
And I don't like being around people like that. So every time I do anything like this, I try to push people in all kinds of different ways. Because for me, the health journey and the business journey mentally for me was the same exact button. It's the same trigger. It's the same button. It's the same everyday focus. And so you see some people that are in really good physical shape, and then they somehow can't make dials on time, or they can't commit to their schedule. They won't buy leads on time. Like they're so disciplined in a personal side. I found that discipline in business first, because I wasn't disciplined in either 15 years ago, but I found it in business first. And then I was still terribly out of shape. And much like you, Eric, even when I lost weight the first time, I mean, you've been around me for a few years, having been through this workout thing. Everyone around me is like, you're killing it. You're in such good shape. And I'm looking at my body going like, dude, I feel like a fat ass still. because there was still more work to do. And so there's this weird parallel. Some people do that in the fitness side and they feel that way and they give up and they go back to the eating like shit. Whereas those of us that stay with it, we continue to see improvements, but the improvements are so slow after that initial giant drop you tend to have, that 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 pounds, whatever the big number is. Dude, getting from 311 to 240 or whatever you said, tough. Dude, getting from 240 to 220 be even fucking harder. You know what I mean? And so like I was in decent shape even prior to this year, but my body fat was like 21, 22%, something like that earlier this year, end of last year, whatever. Last maybe 2 weeks ago, I posted it online. I'm down to like 13.8. And I still physically have body fat. Like I'm not shredded yet. And I can some days go like, this is a lot of fucking work. You know? And it's hard to notice change now. No different in business. It's hard to notice big change today because we have so much momentum. We have so much going on. We have so much good things happening that the big pop doesn't happen. That only happens once, typically even in a career. Like when you had your big pop from like coming in from cars to doing insurance at a high level, Eric, you only got that once.
Yeah.
Now you've been doing this so long, you're just supposed to do that. Mm-hmm. So to have another jump in status financially, that takes more. Like now we got to tweak things even to another level. And on the health side, y'all have followed me for a while. I've done 75 hard now 3 times. I do a lot of endurance events. I do things. I'm a person that likes to chase stuff. If I put something out there, I like to put a target far in the distance. And then I like to break it down into small chunks so I can chase that thing. Because the chase is what keeps me going. Okay. The chase of stuff. Right. So for me, I have these endurance events that I've been chasing. I'm in those events right now. I just finished one a few weeks ago where I did 3 marathons in 3 days. I have one next weekend, not this one coming, the one after, in like 10, 11 days, 12 days, whatever, where I'm hiking this mountain. I got to hike this mountain 8 times to get the equivalent of Mount Everest. So I have like a 36-hour hike. It's all uphill and it's 4 miles, 4,000 feet. I have to do that 8 times. Last year I tried it and I didn't make it. I only did 5. And I'm getting to a point now where I'm sort of at the finish line. Like I've gotten to the big goals. I've gotten to the thing I'm chasing. It's been a year of training, 9 months of intense training. And I'm like, I'm kind of getting bored with it a little bit. I'm feeling unmotivated a little bit because I've changed so much in the last year. So this morning I was supposed to work out, which I did actually work out. I was supposed to work out and I didn't want to. I didn't want to get up. I felt like shit. I didn't want to work out. I had a mile plus a 1-hour HIIT workout this morning. I finally do the mile. It took me till like 8 o'clock to finally do it because I was being a bum a little bit before that. So I do the mile. It takes literally 11 minutes. No big deal. And then the hour workout I had next, it was a pretty intense, like every 30 seconds you do something for an hour straight. There was no rest. Every 30-second interview I had to do something, and I had to do this loop. It was the loop was 24 times. I do these 5 exercises 24 times to make up the hour. And I was doing everything I could to procrastinate it this morning. I was trying to not do it today. I was like, I'll do it later. I'll do it tonight. I'll do this. I was trying my hardest. And I walk into the living room and Steph's there and I'm like, hey, and I start talking to her and she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm literally here trying to procrastinate this fucking workout. Let me just go to the fucking workout. Stop being a bitch and go work out. Amanda texts me, how was your workout? I was like, I actually haven't done it yet. I've been a bum. I'm about to do it now. And so I go in there and I set the timer and I'm like, fuck it, just do it. And as I'm doing it, I decided in that moment, Schmidt, and I've talked about this before, but I've like, finally, it's a new thing to chase. I'm like, yo, I'm going to be that guy that's 50 with abs, like ripped, 50 and ripped. Like, why the fuck not? I have like 18 months, 19 months to do it. I'm in pretty good fucking shape, but I want to be like that obnoxious looking 50-year-old that like, he's trying. I just decided that's what I'm going to chase because again, the high level of working out I've done for the last couple of years, eventually you get stagnant in things and it's easy to mentally forget to keep pushing.
Yes.
So for me, I just find a new thing to push for. Yes. 50 and ripped, there ain't many of those fuckers out there. there ain't many humans that way. So I'm like, fuck it. That's what I'm going to be that guy. Because I did not do it in my 20s or 30s when it was easier, and I should have. I was a bit of a bum, and I chose to drink too much. And so in business, no different. There has to be resets, which is why a few months ago I was like, fuck it, let's build a base shop again. Like, why not build direct again? It's a hard challenge. It's difficult to do, especially in the position I'm in, right? And so for me, it's something new to chase. And that's where I want more of you guys to sit down and go like, I don't know. Goals for me are cool, but they don't mean shit if you're not chasing them every day.
Right.
And that doesn't mean I'm perfect every day, because I'm not. I don't hit every marker I need to hit. And I don't do everything that I wish I could do in a day always. But like 95% of the time I'm on point. And I started in my health journey. I was frustrated with 75 hard, which is weird to say. I finish it and you're supposed to feel. Anybody done it? Who's actually completed? Anybody complete? Jordan, doesn't surprise me. You look jacked. Ansley, you've done it a couple times, I think you said, if I remember right. I got bothered at the end of 75 hard, because anybody go back to the shit, like the thing you gave up, you go right back and like drink or eat the shit or whatever it is you gave up, right? Like the day you finish. Me too. I wanted to do it the night I finished, but I'm like, technically the clock has to go to the next day. I shouldn't drink vodka till tomorrow or eat pizza or ice cream till tomorrow. So I did always wait, but then I would get mad that I could be on a program and control my discipline perfectly. I never miss. But the second I'm off the program, suddenly I lose the discipline. Which says what? It wasn't really about my body and my shape. It was about this 75-day thing I could do. Right? And after the third time, I was so frustrated, Schmidt, that I needed a program to stay healthy, to not drink, I need a thing to like smack me in the face every day. Mm-hmm. And so when I finished this time, I finished in March, like March 10th, I think was my last day. I decided after this one, Schmidt, I was going to keep that lifestyle without a program. And I'm not necessarily going to do quote unquote 75 hard every day. Like I don't have to do the 2 workouts, you know what I mean? But I haven't had a drink. I don't eat dessert. I just decided I'm going to have a life that I don't put shit in my mouth. I don't drink coffee. I don't drink alcohol. I don't drink beer. I don't drink tea. I don't drink sugar, sodas, energy drinks. I don't do any of those anymore. And for me,
drink water. You just drink water.
Water in these like, if y'all know what G-Fit is, it's like a Gatorade water, like electrolyte water that has really no shit in it at all. So I drink water and G-Fit, really it. Maybe a protein drink, smoothies. That's it. I've never been a coffee guy, so don't drink coffee at all. I hate beer, so that's easy. Vodka's the one I like, and I like milk. I'm a big fan of milk. I like juices. I'm not really an energy drink guy, but Amanda has one that I do like. I forget what it's called right now, but every once in a blue moon, I would have one. But for me, I wanted to be able to have this level of discipline in I wanted to be my normal life. Right? And how does that relate to this? A lot of people get on calls like this, right? And they go, "Ooh, that got me fired up. That's going to trigger me to be more disciplined." I'm telling you, with everything I got, that's going to wear off. You're going to go back to the shit, just like I went back to the shit on 75 hard, if you don't find something else to push you. And that's the piece, Schmidt, I've never figured out how to do for people, bro. I don't know how to trigger that thing that pushes people to be more in life, just in everyday life. Because the hard part about continuing it is it's hard. And a lot of you feel like you're not on the right track when it gets hard. And I'm like, no, where it's hard as fuck, that's the right track. That's where you're supposed to be. The problem is so many of you get
encourage
off.
People, John, like, hey, call me when you call me after your first 50 objections, and that should be today.
Yeah. I mean, I think for us, Schmidt, it's continuing to get better at setting expectations, combined with giving people like clarity in what this should feel like. I see so many people, dude, put in such mediocre effort towards their career and then find every reason possible besides that one to validate why they're not successful in their career. You know, and it's like, if we wanted to get chiseled, nobody's confused. You have to do it every day, even when you don't want to. You ain't getting out of it. You just ain't getting out of it. I did 3 marathons in 3 days, bro, like 4 weeks ago. I did 4 miles at the mountain Saturday, and you would think I hadn't trained for 9 months. You lose it like this if you don't continue. It disappears. Endurance goes away so fast, right? And in our space, even if you catch a little momentum today, if you don't keep that shit tomorrow, you will lose it fast.
Get effing paid.
Get effing paid.
Get effing paid.
Get effing paid.
What up, guys? If you guys are looking to get to a new level in your career, you may have seen that we've been running some workshops in my office in Atlanta. I have them every quarter now. The last one sold out fully. It was a massive success. A couple different levels. You can attend just a general ticket, get you in the door, listen to 2 days of training, interactive, workshop style. We really dive into what you got going on and how to get to new levels. If you're looking to be in a new crowd, higher level up, I have a private mastermind. Last one was at my house. It was insane. All the value that everybody added to each other, and we had a good time. And I heard it was way underpriced relative to what people got out of it. You can check out some of the testimonials here, I'm sure. But if you'd like to attend, click the link below. I do them every quarter. The date will be around here somewhere. Look forward to seeing you there.
If you are in the insurance industry and you're looking to scale and grow your business, I highly encourage you to check John Wetmore out.
Honestly made the cost of the event back in like the first 2 hours of being here.
John Wetmore is a beast.
So much value in everything that I've learned here.
It is worth the price of admission.
Make sure you get to the next one.
You know, and I've learned to become afraid, Schmidt, of losing it, which is why I keep doing all the things I'm doing. I do more fucking calls than I know what to do with, trying to help people win.
You know, and those little things, it's not, I mean, because like you wake up tomorrow morning and you get your Miracle email that comes in super early, and you're like, what? Like, why is it negative?
Yeah.
Like, and you can't even call anybody at that. You're like,
Yeah.
shit.
Hey.
You get the email late at night with your mutual statement or conservation opportunity. Like,
Yeah.
oh, you know what I mean?
So
Like,
watch the relation here, right?
yeah.
We know we shouldn't drink and eat like shit. Most people do it first thing in the morning. Coffee, donut, whatever, right? Most people know that. Most people know what they're putting in their mouth, they shouldn't be putting in their mouth. I don't think anyone's confused, right? Do you want to treat yourself? Great. I also think, Schmidt, that like everybody knows relative to that, you shouldn't check your email first thing in the morning. Everyone knows that. Everyone knows nothing good comes in your email. Everyone knows the minute you pick up your phone, it changes the chemicals in your fucking... I'm not the first one to say this shit. Everyone's seen the videos. Yet, how many of y'all don't touch your phone for the first 30 minutes or an hour in the day? One. You know what I mean? Like, we start out putting ourselves in negative situations. We start out on social media. We start out on seeing the crap. And you're feeding yourself mentally the equivalent of fucking coffee and donuts and confused why we're not mentally strong, you know? And then it's like, I think that the struggle, part of the other struggle is, Eric, that I feel like it's weird in our space. Like, you know, in life, you're always going to get kind of punched along the way, right? Life is always going to have ups and downs. It's part of it. We're all going to deal with challenges, whether it be family or finances or whatever it is. I feel like, Eric, a lot of people think the hard part of what we do for a career eventually just disappears fully.
It never does.
It literally, in some ways, gets worse, quite frankly. Eventually, you'll be like, $2,000 chargeback? I'll take that right now. You know how I'd fucking take that right now to not deal with some of the other shit I'm dealing with. Like, give it to me now. I will pay $2,000 to get out of some of the dumb shit I'm supposed to be doing. You know, and but at the same time, it's like, maybe that's a good thing that we always have shit. Why? Weeds out most people. If there's this race to success, and every time things get hard, someone falls back in that race, and you keep pushing through those things, and that eventually separates you and you pull further and further away, especially over time. You go weeks, months, years. You know how long Eric and I have been grinding at this game? Holy smokes. And we're both in a position financially where we could take today off, I promise you. But we're chasing something bigger, typically chasing for other people, even. Like it's more than just about me or more than just about Eric. And it's honestly at this stage more than just about our own personal families. You know, I do this to make sure a lot of people are okay. Like a shit ton. And so you guys have to find that thing. And what I would say is much like the physical stuff, if you don't have this stuff planned out on your calendar and your schedule, like eating well is not hard. Go into your kitchen now, throw away all the shit. You can be done in 30 minutes. And then next time you go buy stuff, make sure the stuff on your list is not unhealthy. What do I pick? Dude, stop. You know what to pick. Cut it out. Right? And with our business, why do we not look at our schedule and cut out the shit that we know is unhealthy for our business? Because it's just as easy. You choose your schedule every day. You choose what you entertain. You choose what you accept. You choose what you do or don't do. Every one of you picks it. Now, what I know is when I was at an early stage, Eric, I allowed other people to dictate what I did in a day. All the problems, all the things, all the family, all the noise, all the nonsense in my life, I allowed that to dictate my next move. Where today in life, dude, my next move is dictated by what I put on my schedule 99% of the time. You know
that
I
allow button, when you add apps to your phone, John, and it says you want to allow or not allow.
Yep.
A lot of people click allow way too often.
Yes, they do. They always hit that green button, bro.
Allow. And then they're like, man, I'm getting so many notifications. I can't get anything done. Well, dude, you press allow all the time.
Yeah.
So
my phone.
Delete the app or put it on do not disturb.
Yeah. If you can, I don't know if y'all probably can't read that. The bottom. Right there. My phone stays on do not disturb the entire day. My phone almost never comes off do not disturb. Almost never. I would bet of 24 hours, 7 days a week, there's 168 hours in the week. I bet my phone is on do not disturb 160 of them. Straight up. Now I have the little setting where my favorites can get through the do not disturb. Mm-hmm. And my favorites are, I'll tell you, my wife,
your wife,
my 4 kids, and Amanda. That's it. That's who gets through my phone. If you call my phone right now, it will go straight to voicemail. It's on do not disturb all fucking day. Because nobody calling me is typically urgent. Nobody emailing me. I don't get any notifications. No notifications pop up on my phone. Text is the only one that allows a bubble. Nothing pops up on my screen. No text. Nothing appears on that lock screen for me. Nothing ever shows up there. Nothing. And then when you go to like the apps, the only ones right here, y'all can't see it. My text has a 2 and settings has a 1 because apparently I have to do an update tonight. There's not another app on my phone with a bubble because the bubbles distract me. I can go look at my phone whenever I want, and it's like, do you guys have these things in place in your life to prevent the stuff you're doing? I think it was Ansley, you and I were talking the other day, dude, about you being on scrolling, right? That was me and you, the scrolling, right? And I know I deleted my apps at one point, but they deleted today. And if they are deleted and you don't control it, do you have that little setting on your phone that doesn't allow you to enter the app, that screen time deal?
I had it when I right past it.
Hey, imagine, because it isn't that important. You know what I mean? It's like, why put on screen time if you allow it to be skipped anyway? What's the fucking point? You may as well just take it off.
Yeah, that's right? Why I just delete the app.
Yeah, which is cool if it works, right? You got to find everybody has their thing. For me, if I find myself scrolling too much, I set that thing, and at the very least, it's a reminder. And dude, if I have to hit that, like, let me see it, because I've done it. You can see it for another minute, you can see it for another hour, you can see it for the rest of the day. Dude, every time I hit that, I feel like a complete bitch. I just do. I feel like I'm like going against my own personal goals. But also, that's very similar to me going, I work out and stay clean when I'm on 75 hard. So now I don't scroll on my phone as long as I have screen time. I didn't like that. I'm like, I should be able to control it. something's got to go right here that I don't want to be on it anymore. And I had to get to that point, you know? So for me, I think if you guys will look at your schedule, and, you know, make like a 7-day, 1 week, like, I don't give a shit what happens in life. Here's my schedule. Here's when I do what. Here's when I make calls. Here's when I buy leads. Here, when I tell you everything is on my schedule, I wouldn't know how to live without it. And a lot of days it fully dictates my day. And I'm so good at scheduling things that I can't do stuff that interferes with my day because I'm so fucking busy with pre-scheduled stuff, you know? So sometimes when y'all text me or email me or message me on social, dude, I might not get back to people for 8, 10, 12, 24, 36 hours sometimes because my life is so scheduled. And again, I allow some grace. I allow some variability sometimes, but it's got to be a massive one to move my day. And having control of that over the long term has been one of the best things for me and my health. And like, you ever like tell yourself you're going to do something and then you don't do it, but mentally all you can do is think about that thing you said you would do but didn't do? You know you're supposed to be doing the shit and you don't. That mental energy is so draining on your body, and it's so draining to your self-esteem and who you are. So for me, when I feel that feeling, I catch that feeling and do something with it because I don't want that. Mental energy kills me, you know? So much as something simple as like when I was working out this morning, I was thinking about some work stuff that had to be done. Because again, I was trying to procrastinate. So I was thinking about other shit. Knowing I do that, instead of dealing with those things at that time, I took 4 seconds. I wrote them down on my whiteboard in my gym. That way I could, in that moment, just forget about it. Because I didn't want to forget the things. You ever think of something, you're like, oh shit, I got to handle it now so I don't forget.
Right.
I write it down somewhere.
Right.
So then mentally I can let go of that thing. Yes. And come back to where I wrote it down later.
Yes.
I don't want to think about it. If you have to deal with something, a difficult conversation, have it now. Get it over with. Get it out of the way. I'm just weird like that. Take out the trash. I'd rather just do it now than later. Just let me knock it out so I can stop thinking about it. You know? So again, I would challenge you guys to create a schedule, find the ideal schedule, but then when you go through a week, actually take notes on your schedule. If you go through twice an hour for a week and write down what you did for the previous 30 minutes, and then you actually look at it and compare with the pipe dream you sell yourself and see how much of it you commit to. You know, I did that exercise maybe 8 years ago. It was literally 24/7 for 7 straight days. And dude, I found so much blank, empty space on my calendar. And I found I didn't really get to my to-do list stuff. I allowed so many people to dictate my day. And when I looked at the week worth of schedule, I was like, shit, I got to make some changes here. And now I can get done as much work in significantly less time because everything's scheduled. So I don't bounce around a lot. And I don't have a lot of like downtime. Like my team's really smart and they schedule little windows for me to like be able to eat in between calls. Like I thought I had at 2 o'clock and I thought I had at 3 o'clock when this was really at 3:30. Because my team knows that I'll go back to back to back sometimes and I just won't eat. So I came downstairs at 3 and Reese freaked the fuck out because he thought somehow he missed like he was confused because they put in a gap and I missed it, you know? So I think even scheduling those things are important. Schedule your family time, schedule the date night, schedule the time when you hang out with your buddies, schedule the time, whatever it is you got to do in your world, fine, do it. You get to build your own life. What I find far too many of you do though, is you just kind of wing it. You just wing your day. You know, much like health, dude, you see someone that's ripped, you know, they don't wing their health. You just know they aren't winging it. You know, and when you get someone that's financially stable, for the overwhelming majority, we know like they're probably not winging anything. They're probably super intentional about every day. and always trying to get better. So it's making small tweaks every day to try to improve, yet not beating yourself up too much when you don't have success, because success is a funny thing. It's not all roses and sunshine, I promise you. It just happens to be more wins than losses eventually. You might be at a stage right now where you're having more losses than wins, and that's okay. Schedule more things that give you wins. You start scheduling like, hey, I'm not going to eat cookies in the morning. That's a win. Hey, I'm not going to watch TV today. That's a win. You just start scheduling very specific things. And as you start to meet them, your self-esteem goes up. Your belief in your ability to do a lot of things goes up. And with time, it gets easier. It gets easier. Anything. I can move a lot of weight. I can run a lot of distance. I can hike a lot of mountain right now, relatively easy compared to 6 months, 9 months, a year ago. And I can accomplish a lot more business things in a week. I can take more calls. I can handle more situations. I can deal with more bullshit in a week because I have so many reps over the years. The difficulties get easier. But a lot of y'all on that path to it, you go, it's hard. I must be going the wrong way. And we're like, no. You see where you're bleeding from the lip? That means you're just barely there. You need to keep going further. That way you get punched right in the face and your nose breaks. That's part of the business journey. I promise you it is. And having good people around you to help with those hard issues is beneficial. What I find, much like in the health space, when I was like out of shape and drinking like shit and eating like shit, I tend to hang out with people who do the same. And when in business, I wasn't taking it serious and I was kind of winging it and hoping like shit it worked out, I was hanging around people in business that thought negative too, and who wanted to boo-hoo with me about the leads or the recruits or the whatever. And eventually I started to put myself, much like Schmidt and some other guys do, is like put yourself in an environment of people that are winning, and don't accept people around you that talk negative about business or whatever. Like, why do you want to be with someone that's bitching about leads? You know what I mean? Like, even if you right now believe the lead sucked and you call your buddy and you call him to have him validate they suck with you, I'm like, wouldn't you rather have someone around you that challenges your mindset and be like, yo, you sure it's the lead, bro? Or is it your stupid thinking right now? I'd rather have that person around me. But that's not for everybody, Tends to be people follow me, tend to like that because I'm sort of that way all the time. But I can only be here with you a small amount of time of your journey. So it's like, pay attention to the people you're putting yourself around on a daily basis. And if they're negative, they're probably not the one. And you look at people with success out there and it's like the things that they believe they can accomplish are bananas. It sounds that way to the average person. But over the course of time, you can accomplish a lot when you focus on your schedule every single day. And again, with time, routine becomes simple, and productivity can go through the roof when you're insanely intentional about this stuff. So really simple, yet hard to do every day when life is there punching in the face. And it's like sometimes you just got to find a reason to punch back. And for me, I find crazy examples to do it. When I'm out on a mountain doing 3 marathons in 3 days and I'm, 32 miles in, and I'm like, shit, I got 50 something miles left in this journey. I was sore as shit. My knees hurt, my feet hurt, my hips hurt, everything hurt. But in my head, I went, what would I say if someone was complaining in insurance? Like, what example would I use? And I went, dude, if Matt, because the total distance was 84 miles in 3 days. It was 84 total miles, and it was a shitload of incline and decline and yada, yada. But during the hike, when it got hard, I would tell myself, I'd be like, yo, if Maddox were at the end of that 84 miles, would I quit? Like if he was sitting there at the end and I had to save him, he had something going on, he's at the end of 84 miles, and the only way he's getting better is I get to the end of 84 in the 3 days. Dude, there's no way I'm not finishing. There's no way I'm going to stop walking. And I literally had to remind myself as I was going through that difficult challenge. So this crazy shit I tell y'all is just the stuff I use on myself. And it works really good for me. And I have to find ways to trigger pushing through difficult versus.
Sean said in one of his coaching calls, be ferocious. And that's how I try to be ferocious. And I know I can do other things ferocious. So I'm going to sell ferocious.
Yeah, I like it. I like that word. It's a good word. Schmidt, who else you got on here that needs some help, dude?
Well,
Anybody?
yeah,
I'll open it up. Questions.
I'm not gonna mention anyone that doesn't have their camera on because that's weird. But
I agree.
I do see some names on here.
Ooh,
But
Jasmine, it was really weird to see your name and it not be you. And now I see your name twice. That was fucking weird.
That's Jenna. Anytime Jenna joins from a link I send her from your meeting, somehow it comes up as my name.
I love it. Yeah. You're in different spots on my screen. And I'm like, that is not her. Anyway.
I do see a couple names on here, John. So people that are just like anchored down by their hourly or W-2 salary opportunity.
Yep.
You know, again, there's no perfect strategy because there's no exact situation for everyone, but what would be like a baseline foundational strategy, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm not going to, you know, give you my thoughts. I want to hear your thoughts to say, okay, well, if this is your thing that you want to move out of this hourly W-2 capped, you know, ceiling type of, you know, job you currently have, getting into something like this where there is no cap, like what does that look like, that strategy?
I'll assume that person feels overwhelmed currently, trying to figure it out. I would guess schedule wise, right? Typically.
Yeah, just can't, you know, I mean, there's 168 hours in a week and just can't even fathom how they can put something else in.
Yeah. So for me, what I let people know is it's going to get busier before it gets easier. And if you want out of your current situation, you have to find a way. Again, we go like, let's be crazy. I don't know, dude. If someone was in the military and they had to go overseas and fight, they fucking go overseas for 6 months, 18 months, 2 years, 4 years, 6 years. And they just, life goes on for families in worse situations than all of us. You know, and that's one thing that Sean always taught us really well, dude, is like, boo-hoo, my situation is this. You can throw a rock and find someone in a significantly worse situation than you currently right now, anywhere, any one of you. So be careful about boo-hooing about how bad it is. And at the same time, learning to be excited about an opportunity. And you know what did it for me, dude, is like when you see our clients, again, I'm weird the way things make me move. But anybody, I talk about this a lot, so if it's a repeat for some of you, I apologize, but it does work for me still to this day. If you look at any one of our clients, especially as they get older, right? That 65-year-old client, what's the average source of income for that person, that client?
20 grand, 30 grand.
The source. Oh, the source at retirement.
No, the government.
Like Social Security?
The government. Security? Yes. Right? And is it a lot of money or is it shit money?
Shit money.
It's shit money. Do the clients live amazing or do they live relatively like shit?
Shit.
Okay. So for me, that's the path everyone's on. That's the way the world's designed, is to take you down that path. Fair?
Yes.
So unless you're confused, if you keep doing the shit you're doing now on your job, that's the direction you're going. That's where the train takes you. The train stop is 65, you live on the government's money. That scares the shit out of me.
Mm-hmm.
Literally scares the piss out of me, dude. And so anytime I felt demotivated, bro, weird enough, I look at our clients. Like, I sure as shit don't want to be in that position. I know I don't want to be in that position. So I have an opportunity now to do something about it, right? But I'm on the train going the wrong way. So I got to slow this bitch down before I can turn it around. You just can't turn the train going the wrong way. You can't stop it on its tracks instantly and just go the right way.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So sometimes you got to continue down that wrong path while simultaneously building a new path, which is going to be difficult. You know, but is it going to be as difficult as as it is living at 65, 70 years old on the government on $800, $1,200, $1,800 a month? And maybe you save up your 401k for 50 grand, 100 grand, 200 grand. shit, dude, I don't want to live like that, bro. And so I was willing to sacrifice whatever I had to sacrifice. I wish I learned this sooner, but from 35 till now I'm 48, the amount of shit I was willing to sacrifice in order to not live like that, that's what drove me, bro. If you're an insurance agent and you feel like you're stuck, you've hit a wall, you're trying to figure out sales strategies, the scripts to use, how to get like off the ground and get to that top of the leaderboard type status, I have a course that I've put out, super affordable. I'm getting a ton of great feedback from people every day on the strategies they've learned and been able to implement, from goal setting to sales techniques to calendar scheduling, everything you would need to get your business off the ground and get running quickly. jwcourse.com, click the link below and get in there today. For me, what worked well is taking and putting on a schedule. And I have an exercise. If y'all go to johnwetmore.com/resources, a lot of y'all already download this stuff, but there's 2 exercises related to setting goals and schedule, Schmidt. And I give everyone that schedule exercise. The goals one is, to me, it's a combo thing. You can download it. There's a couple videos you can watch that explain how I do it. And the basic premise is, if you take an entire week and the first thing you put on that schedule is the shit you can't move, meaning they can't move their job today, that has to go on the schedule first. Mm-hmm. Okay? That goes in. Whatever that schedule is, it is. And again, to your point, there's 168 hours left in a week. Mm-hmm. And for perspective, if you work 40, right, and you sleep 8 hours a day, which is 56, and again, if you're broke, I'm not convinced you should be sleeping 8 hours a day if you're broke. But I'm going to give you credit for it. 40 hours working, 8 hours a night sleeping, it comes out to 96 hours. You have 72 more hours after a full-time job and sleeping 8 hours a day. There's 72 more hours left in a week after a full-time job and sleeping 8 hours a day. That's a fuck ton of time.
Are you with your mom, or do you
Nobody has that much life going on, dude. You're never going to convince me. So for me, the schedule, put the shit you can't move first. Work, fine. What's next? Then for me, next is, can you mute? Is that you, Schmidt?
Yeah,
if it's you, it's okay. No, it's okay. It's all good. It's all good. I can ignore it. As I was telling her to mute someone, and I thought she would have already done that, so it must be you. I did that on my own, Amanda. I figured that one out by myself. So the next thing for me is, what would my ideally not want to move? Meaning, take my kids to baseball, go to church on Sundays. Ideally, I don't want to move it, but you sure as shit can move it. You don't have to go to church on Sunday. You don't have to take your kids to the game on Saturday. You don't have to go out to dinner with your friends. You don't have to do these things. You choose. But there's a lot of things in life we choose to do now that we don't have to choose to do. And this is where the sacrifice piece comes in, Eric. Some people, dude, and we all know them, they're like, I want to be there for everything for my kids. Great. Love it. Stop complaining you're broke. Stop bitching. If you want to be there all the time for your kids and you can't move the stuff, you just can't complain. Because all of us could find another way. Is that ideal? I'm not saying it's ideal. Right? So can't move, then what I prefer not to move. Those are the order in which I do them. So if you take everything you can't move and then everything you prefer not to move and put that on a schedule, I promise you'll still see a lot of white space. You will see a fuck ton of white space still. And that's where I build in the schedule to do more, Eric. That's where I'm going to make calls. That's where I'm going to do recruiting. That's where I'm going to see clients. That's where I'm going to study my craft. That's where I'm going to get around positive people. That's where I'm going to go to events. That's where I'm going to travel to get to lock-ins. That's where I'm going to, you know what I mean? I'm going to do all these other things. And for me, though, if you guys watch those videos, I go through the schedule of what I didn't want to move, what I couldn't move, and what I didn't want to move. And for me, the only thing I didn't want to move was when I had my kids for dinner on Thursdays and I had them every other weekend because we were divorced. That's what I preferred not to move. But then in the goal side, I said I wanted to make $500,000. And I said I wanted to see 30 clients a week and 120 of them a month. So then I had to figure out how to fit those in. For me, Eric, what makes me and you different than the rest, if the thing we have to hit in order to achieve our goals, mine was 30 appointments a week in the field, door to door, kitchen table style, for those wondering. If I didn't hit those numbers, the things I didn't want to move got moved. That was the consequence. Right? I have the things I can't move, the things I didn't want to move. If I didn't hit the numbers to achieve my goals, that middle section got moved. That was the consequence for me. I was going to have to tell my kids I couldn't pick them up Thursday night for dinner if I didn't book enough appointments that week. I was going to have to tell my kids I couldn't take them to soccer or baseball this week if I didn't do what I had to do activity-wise. And I've had to do it a few times, dude. I don't like it. But I was willing to do it because I wanted my kids to live different. I wanted my kids to go to private school the entire time. Braden is now 17. He's been on 3 mission trips out of the country. He doesn't get to do that shit if I didn't make those sacrifices. Gabby's full-time in college. I pay for her college, pay for her car fucking insurance, pay for her car, pay for everything. I pay for all of it. She's 18. She doesn't even, she can function just and go to school because I chose to sacrifice. I didn't always make it to her softball games when she was a kid. I missed a lot of them. You know what I mean? Like I missed a lot of Maddox's basketball when he was 4 and soccer when he was 6. I missed some of that shit. But dude, we just spent 2 weeks on vacation, didn't have to worry about shit. You know what I mean? And I get to take Maddox to like World Series games and fly across the country and go to a Dodgers game and take him to let him go. Hell, he went out of the country this year with his friends on a trip. Like they get to do that kind of stuff, you know? And I get to spoil them. I get to take care of my team and my staff. And you know what I mean? Like I get to do a lot of those things today because of what I gave up in that small window. And that's kind of the exercise for me, Schmidt, for them. You know.
Now, John, I have a question about annuities.
Hold on, Linda. Hold on. I don't want to change gears yet. I want to make sure I'm on track with Eric first.
Okay.
Yeah. So, so that strategy of, the W-2 1099, it's, and I've always talked about with the schedule. And when I first started, John, there was, if I could figure it out in the time that I had left after my 70 hours at the dealership to sell, when I got those 70 hours back, not only be able to get more into the selling, but then I can also spend more on sharing the opportunity and helping coach and build from there.
Yeah.
But it is all about the schedule and myself, first and foremost, doing a horrible job with it. I've recently removed all social media from my phone. Just because even though I have the time, like you said, I mean, I don't have to be doing this 60 hours a week, but I do. But that still becomes a huge distraction to me.
Yeah, for sure.
It's so that, and I think while you were saying that consequence piece, right? Can't move, don't want to move, will move if X isn't done. But I think, there are people in your life, whether they're partners, siblings, children, significant others, whatever it may be, like they have to know, like, hey, if you ask me to come pick Johnny up at school or to mow the lawn or do the laundry or, go in late or do that could consequence this thing that neither of us want to move. Like if you're,
I'll even up it a little. That person should know they shouldn't even call you for that shit.
Mm-hmm.
You should be that good with your schedule that people wouldn't, dude. You think someone's going to attempt to call me to go help them fucking move a table on a Tuesday afternoon because they need some fucking help, or my buddy's going to call me to move a couch, or someone's going to call me when they get a flat tire, dude? Everyone knows I'm telling them no. But call fucking AAA, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's not only the willingness to say no to those people. It should get to a point where you're so committed to what you're chasing that people don't even fucking ask without it being obnoxiously urgent, or way out in the future. For me, people know, dude, if you don't catch me soon enough, something's on my calendar already. If you want me to travel, you better tell me a few months in advance. If you and I beat this into my kids' head. Braden wanted to have some friends over this weekend and do and just timing didn't work. And I'm like, dude, if you planned that 4 or 5 days ago, we could have figured it out.
Right. Yeah.
So with communication, John, when you're working, so like if I'm working with you, right? Because you're obviously, we're partners, but obviously I work with you, right? We work together.
Sure.
But where's the communication has to go up, right? Because so when and what do those timelines look like? Is it it's not a day, it's not a week, is it a month? Is it a quarter? Is it 6 months? Is it but the communication's got to be coming from me up to you to say, hey, this is what's going well, this is what's not going well.
Correct.
What do I got to tweak? That communication has, because I can't guess it, right? I mean, I can see like in this business, I can see issue paid numbers, but I don't know that's it. I mean, and that's not enough to see. So that communication.
I always tell people this, dude, is like, and they'll say it too. Anybody that I've mentored along the way, anyone, you pick one, any of the top groups, any top agents I've ever worked with. If you ask them out of 100 phone calls, how many times I called them versus they called me, the percentage is so skewed to them calling me, like 95 or more out of 100 calls is the person being mentored called me. I don't chase people, dude. Because again, our role in this is expectations. You know what I mean? If you want to get better, you call for help. Now, why don't a lot of them call for help? Because they know they ain't doing everything it takes to get the help with that one. They need help on this one thing, but they're messing up all this other stuff. Or they get in their head and they go like, I know, Eric, I know you're so busy, dude. That's why I didn't call. I'm like, how the fuck did you know I was so busy? You didn't call. You don't know that I'm sitting on my back deck doing nothing. You know what I mean? So it's this, we come up with these excuses why we don't reach out.
And more times than not, they already know the answer. Well, if I call John, he's just going to tell me X.
Correct. Yeah. So for me, dude, I get people to call with situational questions versus hypotheticals. I fucking hate hypotheticals. I hate what if questions. I can't stand them. It's like they're pointless. You're making up a question. How about I make up an answer? I like, hey, I just sat with Susan and this happened. Hey, I just hired Greg and this happened. Hey, I was talking to this agent and this happened. That's the correction that people really need. But the only time they want to call is with the what if stuff. What if I don't have this? What if I'm not ready for this? What if the lead says this? What if in this, right? So it's like, I like people learning on their own and studying, fine. But the perspective in which you're studying from is usually flawed because you are the one that doesn't know what you're doing, right? So when you as a new agent, if you're not killing it in this space and you think you know what's wrong, just chalk it up to you're probably wrong. If you just go with that like 100% of the time and you go, who do I ask? The person you're uncomfortable asking because you know they'll tell you the fucking truth. Ask that person. Don't tell the person who's going to appease you. You know what I mean? Don't ask your cousin who's going to enable you. I just ask the person you're afraid to ask because you know they're going to challenge the shit out of you. And so for me, Schmidt, if I understand where people are at and they're living their schedule out the way they said they would live their schedule out, because everybody's different. I don't expect everyone to have to do 70, 80 hours a week. That's not in everybody's plan. Mm-hmm. But everybody could lay a schedule out and everybody could send that schedule to someone who sees things better, who is going to challenge them differently, who views the world differently and views possibilities differently. There's not a person on here that could send me their schedule that I won't find white space in, including myself. I have fucking white space. I know y'all do. You know, so for me, I challenge people a lot, Eric. I would challenge everyone in your group to do that schedule exercise and then have them send it to you and show you where they have no time. Because it won't exist. I've never, ever one time had someone send me a schedule that I couldn't add fucking 30 hours a week to, at least. Never. You know, now do they have to move some stuff? Yep. We do. A lot of times. I talked to a girl this
forever too.
This is not a forever plan. This is it can be a very, now temporary sometimes. I don't know, dude. I feel like I'd be probably, if I had to guess an average, head down, couple years before it's like, oh shit, I can fucking kill it at this mentality. Like, well, you can walk in with a high level of confidence that you know you got this no matter what. I can see a small level of confidence within a few weeks from people. What up, y'all? So YouTube memberships, we have one now. Right next to the subscribe button, there's a neon white join button. You can't miss it. Subscribe, whatever it says, click the link, get in there. I do a ton of coaching, teaching people how to dial, corrections, working on their presentations, working on their mindset. I will coach on theory, but I like coaching real world stuff. And if you join the membership section, you're gonna see live coaching where I'm not only helping people, but every once in a while I get in there and dial myself. There's some cool videos coming out, tons of content.
All of the training videos will be directly on my YouTube channel. That's available to members only. Super easy to find.
In order to access them, you have to join our exclusive training videos tier. Do More does not get access to the training videos. So join now if you're interested. Click below. See you in there. In a few months, you can get like, all right, I kind of know what I'm doing, but maybe not organized. But to get it to where like you live different and you're netting multiple 6 figures a year and you have confidence that you can teach it and you have confidence you can go out and make 30, 40, 50 grand like this, that takes I don't know how to give that to someone before a couple years. I just don't, Eric. I mean, again, do people do it sooner? Yep, does. But it ain't most. It's not most. And to be honest, even the ones killing it, a lot of times at the beginning, they're nervous and worried about it. And they don't know that they can duplicate it month in and month out. How many people have here sold a bunch one month and sold shit the next month? That happens. Or how many sold a bunch, deposited a bunch, and suddenly doesn't know where the fucking money is? That happens. You know what I mean? Like, this is real. And so it's learning to tweak all the different pieces along the way, Eric. There's not just one tweak. You're not just going to change your script and be off to the races forever. You're not just going to learn how to onboard someone and all of a sudden it works like magic every day. This takes constant tweaking, dude. And if I look at any of the people I've talked to that have had success, the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours we spent on the phone over the course of several years, that shit adds up, you know, and it's a little bit of small tweaks every day over the long run that really ties in. I've been doing this 13 years, bro, and you've been doing a long fucking time too. And you and I can both sit down and have a conversation today about all the stuff we still suck at. Fair?
Very fair.
Me and you could chop it up for hours right now about where we're weak. And then you got new people in here not even figuring this thing out yet, and they somehow think they got it all figured out, and that they got the script down, and it's just the leads. I'm like, oh no, that's the smallest piece of the problem typically, you know. But schedule is the big one, dude, and making sure you're on the same page with family about it. It should be a family schedule. A lot of times I see the mistake is where someone makes a schedule and they don't let the rest of the world know, whatever their world is. And then when something has to happen on Tuesday, they aren't on the same page. You know what I mean? Or they aren't chasing the dream together.
Yeah, and Zach may have gotten that from you, but I heard it from Zach. And he would talk to Deb and he'd be like, hey, here's the next 90 days. Tell me what's not movable.
Yeah.
A wedding, a baby shower, a bachelor party. What's not 100%. Movable? You know?
Okay. I had to sit down and teach him all this shit early on, dude.
Yeah.
That's where it says people are recruiting. They think it's just do more. And I'm like, it ain't just that, dude. There is a lot of shit to do when you're coaching people one-on-one to get to the next level. And there's a lot of things that interfere with everything in life. And when you talk employee versus 1099, dude, you know, I hear one of those things a lot where people are like, I wish they had a business mentality more or an entrepreneur mindset with their schedule, right? You hear that one a lot. And it frustrates me because I wish more people had more of an employee mindset when it came to their schedule. Because when you had a job, you had to show up no matter what was going on in life. And you didn't, no matter what was happening, you had to show up to the job, regardless of if you wanted to be there that day or not. You know,
if you were earning money while you were there, because you were just, you know, horse playing around at work, you know, you had to be there and get the check in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So imagine asking me like, what should my schedule be? I'm like, well, what was your schedule at your job? It was X. I go, it's not, make it the same schedule.
The downside is when they have the job, and they, like you said, they dick around at the water cooler or whatever they got. When they have the schedule here, they allow themselves to dick around half the day because that's what they're used to doing on their job.
And that's something that I talk about earlier. I'm like, let me just give you what counts as work minutes and what doesn't count. Yeah. You know, like
which is why I do the tracker thing.
Yeah, it came right from you, right? I mean, it's either dialing, presenting, or recruiting.
That's it.
All the other time doesn't count.
I had a guy who sent it to me this weekend. I don't know if he's on the call or not, but he gets coaching from me, and he's actually an agent with us as well. And he did his tracker, which if y'all haven't done, it's on my website. Just go to the website. There's a little form right on the main page. You can download it. But you can enter all your stuff into a spreadsheet, and it does like the math of how many hours you're working. This dude sent it to me this week, and he thought he was killing it time wise. He's like, I'm putting everything I can, and I'm just not seeing the success. Da 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 da. So we get into it, dude, and I look at his tracker, and he's averaging. The math came out to 11 hours a week, making phone calls and presenting. And a lot of people sound surprised by that, but it's like if you look at your actual schedule of phone calls, if things were timed, like straight up timed, and I turned the timer off as soon as you got off the phone, dude, most agents are in that ballpark of 8, 10, 12, 14 hours a week. And they feel like they're working more. JohnWetmore.com. If you go to, there you go. They redid it. They got me. And so there's this whole thing of like, that's why I came up with the concept of like, did you dial all day or take all day to dial? Because they're very different things, I don't know if you got y'all mow your grass, mow your lawn, you got a little backyard, you mow the lawn or whatever, it takes you an hour or two, and you're done, you go clean up, whatever. Can you imagine if you took 12 hours to mow your backyard? Do you go like, whoo, tough day, 12 hours of mowing? It's like, yo, you sat down on the mower drinking beer for 6 hours. That doesn't count because you hid from your wife in the backyard on the lawnmower with some beer in it. Like it doesn't count. Now you count it if you want, but guys like me and Eric chose not to count it. We came up with thresholds. So for me, I only gave myself, every time I made a phone call, I got a minute. And every time I did a full presentation, it was an hour. If I don't do a full presentation, I get no time. And that it's just the way I chose to track it for me. So if you're presenting 20 hours a week, cool, it's 20 hours. But most people in here ain't presenting 20 hours a week. You present 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times a week. That's 8 hours a week presenting in your career. I don't know how people expect to win on presenting their product 8 hours a week to the world. I'm not that guy. I wasn't that guy. I don't pretend to be that guy. I don't know how to get rich doing that. I know how to get rich presenting 20 or 30 hours a week. And I know how to get rich calling another 20 or 30 hours a week. And I know how to get rich recruiting another 10 or 15 hours a week. That's how I had to do it, Eric. When I had the job, I had to do both. I had a 40-hour week accounting job. I was commuting an hour and a half each way every day. So I'd leave my house at 5:30 in the morning to get to work by 7, to then leave the office at 4 to get home at 5:36. And then I had to do insurance on top of that. So to those with the job, it's going to be busy, but it's not forever. And the quicker you do it at a high level, the quicker you can be off that roller coaster and on the new train, like I said earlier, and on the new track. So just be insanely intentional with this stuff. And those of you building, you really got to get in and understand your agents and understand where they're at and understand their difficulties and challenges and create vision for people when they don't see it. That's just one of those things, Eric, that I've learned, man. People don't have the vision or the path, and that's okay. And when you're not asking the right people, you're probably not going to get it. So hopefully that shit helps. Let's see, time 4:37, kind of over. Did you have a quick question, Linda, on the annuity thing? I don't want to spend too much time. I'm gonna let people go here in a minute.
Okay. I was talking with somebody and he asked about the death benefits. And how does that work?
If they die, they get the balance.
Okay. The beneficiaries get the balance.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if they die, there's no wait, there's no all the time restrictions, just they get the money.
Okay. And then one other question, because I'm doing some product training to sell something. Did you just go through the product training and not just getting in your mind and get somebody else to help you?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, you knew that. You knew that though, Linda. I know you knew that. I actually did annuity training today. It took me 7 minutes. I read none of it.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry if the CE department is watching.
Okay.
But I got my CE today in 7 minutes, even though it was a 4-hour course.
Okay.
who cares? Yeah. So I never worry about any of that. It's just like follow the simple things, like Zach said earlier about how to find them, and then you've been on the boot camps enough to see we can help you close them until you know how to do it.
Okay.
Man, keep this thing simple. A couple things we got coming up. Amanda, catch me if we're doing a lock-in Nashville, Tennessee, September 10th and 11th. I believe I have those dates right, Amanda. I'm there the 9th to the 12th, but 10th and 11th in Nashville. Someone's going to put a link here. We've sent it out in email. It's on my website if you can't figure it out. It'll be 2 days in Nashville. We rented 2 Airbnbs. People will be there dialing, closing deals. I'll be out there for a few days training folks. So if you have anybody that wants to come in, register now. And then we have our next workshop in my office on October, is it 14th, 15th, Amanda? 15th, 16th? 15th, 16th. Cool. 15th and 16th, same thing. 2-day workshop in my office, Atlanta or Marietta, Kennesaw, if you know the area well. That sucker's definitely going to be sold out because all of our coaching clients come to it as well. So if you're interested in a workshop, next one, October, register now before you can't. And if you guys need anything else, hit me up, send me a DM, let me know how I can help. Otherwise, appreciate helping you guys where I can. Get after it. And any of you guys that want to send me your schedule to challenge it, send it over and I'll look at it for you. Keep pushing. Go do more. Let me know if I can help.